Hello, this video is on the date of writing of the letters of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John. Let me share my screen. Okay, the letters of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John. People do argue about the authorship, but the main attribution has been to John the disciple, the son of Zebedee from antiquity. These are all very short books with little to go on if you want to try to put a date on them. So that'll make this video kind of short. Also, since there's not a lot to go on, I've decided to treat all three letters just kind of all as a single unit all together. The author of all three of them identifies himself as the elder, and there's no special reason in this case to date 1st John before 2nd John or 3rd John. They could conceivably have come into any order. I think that 1st John is first in the Bible because it's the longest of the three. And there's a clear connection to the Gospel of John and the book of Revelation. They have a lot of common themes. I don't think the Lamb of God appears in the letters, but they do share a lot of common themes, even though they're different types of literature. And also, if you are a Greek reader, you will probably notice that all the John books, the Gospel, the letters, and Revelation, are easy to read, as opposed to some of the other literature in the New Testament, which is more difficult. But the John literature is easy. Even Revelation is easy, and that's sometimes considered to be a little bit eclectic or unusually written in Greek, but all of the John literature is actually easy. John identifies himself as the elder, and he writes to his spiritual children. And while that could be a reference, and it is a reference to the fact that John is the elder spiritually, you also do get the impression from the books that he is actually an older person writing mostly to younger people. And John, as a disciple, he was a young disciple of Jesus. And so if now he's writing as an elder, that will tell you that quite a bit of time has passed since Jesus's death and resurrection. Now, Gnosticism. Gnosticism was an early heresy that affected the New Testament church and was kind of a threat to the church. They had to address it. It was mentioned in a number of books in the New Testament where they kind of have to address it, though it wasn't the very first kind of problem they had to address. They had earlier problems with Judaizers and issues like that. But by the time you get to the Gospel of John, it seems like Gnosticism was just about the main thing he was trying to struggle with. And you can tell a little bit because of the wording. He says, for example, John 1:1, that which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we looked upon and have touched with our hands. The idea that John has actually touched Jesus with his hands. The reason he says something like that was because one of the tenets of Gnosticism was that the material world was all evil and the spiritual world was good. And therefore, Jesus hadn't really come into the flesh, but he was some sort of a spirit man. And so that's why when they're trying to address Gnosticism, they try to be kind of physical about it. John indicates that he had actually touched Jesus with his hands. And this verse in 2nd John, for many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is the deceiver and the antichrist. Again, a heavy emphasis that Jesus came in the flesh as a physical, material man. Also, there's a lot of anonymity in these letters. In all three books, the author doesn't say his name. It's attributed to John, but he just identifies himself as the elder. And then even the people he's writing to, the elder to the elect lady and her children. So who's the elect lady? Is it a lady? Some people have suggested it's a lady, and other people have suggested that that's a way of saying a church and her children. But in any case, it's all anonymous. No names are given there. And also in 2nd John, the children of your elect sister greet you. It's possible that one reason for the anonymity is that there may have been persecution going around at this time, and it'd be better to keep written correspondence to keep the names off. So the conclusion that I have is that the letters of John were written late in the life of the disciple John. A time when Gnosticism had become a problem, persecution likely was present, and I think I'd probably put it close in time to the Gospel of John and to the book of Revelation. In this case, I would want to hold this idea about date pretty loosely, since these are short letters, and like I said, there's not a whole lot to go on. I think I would place the date about 65 to 70 AD. So that's what I've got on the Gospel of John. Thank you for watching, and I'll hope to come back soon with another video.